Hey, what's up? This is Acid here. Enfin Leve have increased their profile in the world of techwear over the last few seasons. Although they might not be as feature-rich as some other brands, they have been coming out with some great cuts, great designs, use of lots of different technical fabrics, and those all-important customization and personalization options too, so you can get a really decent fit on your stuff. So it's no surprise there was a little bit of hype when Collection 13 was announced, and as the lookbook has dropped, that hype has persisted. So with that in mind, we're going to go through every piece in the collection. I've got a little list here on my phone of everything that is going to come out and the materials that will be releasing in. So even if you have seen the lookbook, hopefully this video will still be useful because it can help piece together exactly what's going to be available and what performance and what functionality we can expect from those things. Let's start off with the jackets, and this one here is pretty much the flagship piece of this collection. If you're a fan of the Alpine jacket, then you're definitely going to like the really high oversized collar on this thing, and the big cargo pocket that's on the front is somewhat reminiscent, certainly has some of acronym's J1 DNA in it, although without being a straight knockoff. This one's coming in Stotts Etterproof. I don't own any Stotts jackets, but my understanding is that it's a fairly rigid, water-resistant material which is hard wearing, but does bed in and soften a little over time. It should do a fine job here, and as some of you might know, this is a material Acronym use in some of their jackets as well. The Zerain jacket has been updated with a new cut, and is now going to be available in this kind of grey-brown, interesting dystopian camo sort of colour. This one's going to be in a cotton twill material if you're looking for this camo specifically, so that'll be a more comfortable and softer wear with a little bit less focus on all-weather performance and water resistance. That camo colour I think is really cool. It gives the jacket a really nice texture, so for a more dystopian kind of outfit that's also a little bit different, bit off the beaten track, something that you're not really going to see in many other jackets. The only one I can think of is there's that Lululemon Apparate, I think it was called, jacket that has a similar thing, but there's not really much outside of that. This colour is also used in this Fishtail Parka, which again comes in cotton twill, which is good. I think anything that's a bit longer, you want that pliability and that extra comfort. Although this isn't necessarily the most exciting piece to me because I feel like it's not as unique looking as a lot of other things in the collection, doesn't feel like it has as much of Enfin Leve's DNA in it. I think the colour still gives it a little bit of interest. I also think it looks better undone, but I kind of feel that about all knee-length jackets to be honest, and it does have a detachable hood too, so you can either wear it done up, get the hood up for maximum protection, or just leave it all undone, don't bother with the hood, and then you've got something a little bit more relaxed, a bit more casual. The final jacket is this nylon metal blend bomber. It gives it a really cool, unique crinkle texture. Reminds me of something that Stone Island Shadow Project released a couple of seasons ago actually, although this is like a more substantial version, particularly because this has a thinsulate layer on the inside of this, but strangely it doesn't make it look too bulky, so this will give you some warmth, bit of protection, but without being quite as puffy as a lot of bomber jackets can be. Definitely sleeker than your average bomber, and it does have a cargo pocket on one side as well, which is a bit of a unique feature. I expect because of the material this will be pretty expensive though, so hold on to your wallets for this one, but it does look pretty cool. There are a few top half things which aren't jackets, which is fair enough. This is a spring-summer collection after all, and all of those jackets seem surprisingly heavy duty. Anyway, one of those things is the Hetu Hoodie, and I wouldn't normally really talk about a hoodie in something like this, but not only does this come in a French terry cotton, but there is a shoulder dry skin version with AquaGuard zips too. This gives it a super unique look between a normal hoodie and a piece of outerwear, and similarly in functionality too, this is going to give you some of the protection that you might associate with a water resistant fabric, but without needing to put a jacket on. Although dry skin is very comfy on pants, I'm interested to know how well that's going to translate to something like a hoodie. And although, yeah, it's maybe not going to be as appropriate for daily wear as your average cotton hoodie might do, if you want to go out but you don't really want to take a jacket, and maybe you think it might rain anyway, or whatever, you just want something that looks a bit more substantial, or a bit more futuristic even than a hoodie, then you could consider something like this. If you treat it as the jacket you wear when you don't really want a jacket, that's probably how you'll get the best use out of this. Dry skin is clearly a running theme here because this piece here, as well as being available in technical poplin, is also going to have a dry skin version too. They refer to it as a kimono. I think it's more of an aragi personally, but we won't get too caught up in the specifics. I think the version here is the technical poplin one based on the material. It looks very crinkled to me. It doesn't look like it has the same weight that dry skin does, but I could be wrong there. Anyway, for the water resistance aspect, using something like dry skin not going to be as appropriate here because it doesn't have a hood, so if you're out in the rain, you are going to get your head wet. But I would hope that something like a Naragi that is quite drapey, has a lot of excess material, that dry skin will really come into its own here and you'll really benefit from the weight of the material, and that stretchiness as well will just make it very comfy to wear. And I know a lot of techwear brands do like to put kind of military details and loads of pockets on their Naragis and stuff. Mercifully, Enfin Leve have not gone for that. It's very, very clean. It keeps that very futuristic look, but yeah, having more substance than something like this, for example, which is just super lightweight. I don't even have to tell you that the shirt that they're releasing for this collection is also going to be available in shoal or dry skin. I really like the way that they're using it in this lookbook. They've basically treated it as a lightweight and slightly more form-fitting jacket, but I can see something like this actually being super versatile because you could wear this in a little bit of a smarter fashion, treat it more like a piece of office casual wear, or even wear it undone, have something underneath it, and then it's more like a traditional shirt jacket, but still something that's a little bit more futuristic than what you might expect. You can't really see, but there's a double front pocket on this shirt, so that gives it a little bit of functionality and usability as a jacket rather than just a shirt. And yeah, something like this, it's maybe not as distinctive, it may not be as crazy as that jacket with the big collar or anything, but the pure versatility of this piece and the number of ways that you could wear it and the amount of use that you could potentially get out of it, I think is going to make this one of the strongest pieces in the collection, and it's certainly something that I really like the look of. And that hidden placket plus that little stand collar that they've got makes it look way more futuristic than a lot of jackets of this type. And let's not forget, dry skin is going to make this a very comfortable wear, particularly if you're styling it as they do in this lookbook and just using it as a jacket. Accompanying this, there's a vest bag thing. This looks based on a design that they've already come out with, although this one has an updated buckle design. I think this one looks much better. It kind of reminds me of the Gorilla Group sling bag type thing. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but this is like the more geometric, more futuristic, smarter version of this. So if you're going to wear it as they do here, with like quite a form-fitting shirt jacket, something that's a bit smarter, a bit sleeker, then this is going to look pretty nice. Whereas if you're more in the kind of oversized, big drapey stuff camp, then the Gorilla Group version is probably going to be more up your street. This does have a pocket at the back as well, so a surprising amount of storage for something that looks pretty insubstantial. This is going to be good, I guess, for giving a bit of extra functionality to an outfit that might ordinarily not really have any carrying capacity at all. Enfin Leve over the last few seasons have probably become most popular for their pants, and I'm certainly a big fan of the Gemstones that I got last season. I'm actually wearing them at the moment, if you can see that, and this season is no exception because they've got a couple of new options. First up, they've got a new cargo pant design. This one has a very, very heavy taper to it and two really big pockets on the front. Something that you can't see in the lookbook images is that behind each one there's a little hidden drop pocket which you can use for phones and stuff, so it gives it a nice little extra bit of functionality. These cargos are like a cross between the futuristic pants that Enfin Leve have become best known for and a more traditional workwear pair of cargos. Those really big front pockets definitely remind me of like something a mechanic would wear or something, or actually something that Gorilla Group have been coming out with in the last season or two, because they've been taking those design cues from more traditional pieces of workwear. In typical Enfin Leve fashion, these will be available in a whole bunch of different fabrics, and the grey-brown camo version, that will just be in cotton twill, similar to the jackets that accompany it. Judging by the taper here, which is quite unusual and extremely harsh as you go down the shin to the ankle, I think you'll have to be quite careful about footwear choices here. I think they look pretty good with the Bambas that they've styled them with here, but yeah, if you're not wearing something that has a bit of presence and is a bit boot-like as the Bambas are, then I think you will struggle and you'll kind of look like you've got tiny feet, because these really do kind of funnel in quite aggressively. The Elderts Pants have been updated and are now available in a technical poplin as well. These are one of the more unusual shapes from Enfin Leve. They've got this really extreme J curve to them, and I think it's, again, something that you're going to have to be careful with the rest of your outfit with, because it's going to easily look like you're wearing a full nappy unless you're also opting for lots of other very oversized and very drapey things. In the lookbook, they've styled it with the Naragi, which I think is a nice pairing. As I say, I think this is the technical poplin version that kind of matches the Naragi. Not as versatile and wearable as a lot of their other pant options, but if you've got the right stuff to wear with this, this is going to look really nice. And it's the kind of thing that in Enfin Leve's lookbooks, when they are styling it in a very dystopian, very oversized way with lots of other cool items, then it ends up looking super cool. There's one more thing in this collection, which is a pair of pants with detachable cuffs. I really like this idea because the pants themselves look pretty flattering, and I'm a fan of the cropped pant personally, but sometimes you do just want something that goes the whole way down, so being able to choose between the two is going to be pretty valuable. Again, these look pretty good with the BBS Bamba, so matching up with something that's also quite grippy at the ankle I think is going to be a nice combo. Overall, similar to that shirt, maybe not the craziest thing in the collection, but with a little bit of versatility and quite a flattering shape as well. Certainly one of the most wearable pieces of this collection, and I think a lot of people are going to be interested in picking something like this up. Overall, I think Enfin Leve again have created a very cohesive collection which fits around that dystopian and futuristic theme. It's definitely more cut back, it's definitely more reserved than previous things that they have put out. There are fewer really weird things, and there are fewer crazy material experiments as well. And yes, I certainly do enjoy browsing through their lookbooks when they're wearing these like ponchos and capes and things made of like metal infused material and other kinds of weird things. I think in general this collection is going to be a lot more wearable, and it's going to fit in a lot more readily to people's techwear wardrobes. I'm glad they're still playing around with using high performance materials in some different scenarios, like using dry skin in the hoodie or the naragi or that shirt jacket, for example. Those experiments certainly look successful, so hopefully that will translate to overall wearability. But that is everything on the Enfin Leve Collection 13. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to come out, but probably very, very soon, so keep an eye out on the Enfin Leve website. And of course, let me know down there in the comments which of all these things you think was your most favourite, or maybe something that you particularly didn't like, or if there's anything that you're going to be keeping your eye on and picking up the second it drops. I think for me, kind of as I mentioned, that shirt jacket and the pants with the detachable legs, I think both of those are going to be really strong options, something that I would certainly get a lot of use out of, although the jacket, with the big cargo pocket with the big extended collar, that's going to be a real winner as well for sure. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, it is much appreciated, and I will be back next week with another video. Shout out to Nezen, can't believe I didn't mention that as an option, obviously superior to any other pair of sunglasses. And shout out to everyone that gave more suggestions as to different futuristic sunglasses. There are loads of cool options in there, so if you weren't satisfied by everything that I talked about in that video, then definitely have a scroll through the comments and you'll find some more cool options for sure. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to catch some more stuff, there'll be links going up at the top, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then definitely consider doing so, because I've got loads of cool plans for more techwear videos and other cool reviews and that sort of thing. There's loads of things that are going to be coming in the next couple of weeks, which I'm really looking forward to featuring on the channel. So yeah, keep an eye out.